Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to a new session on front-end playlist. So this is lesson number 57 and we are studying CSS Miscellaneous 3. I will tell you what is it and what all topics we are going to cover. But before that, just let me check if I'm live. Okay, cool. I'm live. So welcome back, guys. Now, in this session, you already know that we have, if you are following the playlist of front end, you must be knowing that we have done two sessions on CSS of miscellaneous part 1 and miscellaneous part 2. So that's why we are bringing up miscellaneous part 3, in which we are going to cover CSS advanced topics. If you have already seen those two sessions, you must be knowing that that was a great session where we understood most of the things about CSS, mostly about JIT index, overflow, and all the important topics which you need to know in CSS, right? So in this session also we are going to learn a lot about properties of CSS and some kind of properties which is not known to everybody, but we'll try it here, right? So all those things will be here. Now before starting, I will tell you two things. First thing, that this session is not gonna be of 1 hour, right? It's gonna be of more than 1 hour, maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. So please, if you are watching this session, then plan your day like that, okay? And I do not wanted to split it because I wanted to make one particular video in which all of these advanced topics are covered, right? So yes, hi Sai, hi Somu, welcome back. So this session will be around 2 to 3 hours, right? And we will be doing it continuously. We'll take some 5 minutes break in between, but we are going to learn a lot of things here. So if suppose you have some work after 1 hour, you can go ahead and do your work. There's no problem. Whenever you are free, you can come back and watch it. Okay. So these videos will be there. You know that. Now, people who are new here and who do not know what I am just speaking and no idea what is happening here. So let me tell you about it. Basically, we are here starting off the series of front-end playlist. So we are CodeBeyond by Unacademy. This is the channel and we are providing front-end playlist course content for free, and HTML, CSS, JavaScript is already done. We are just in the end of it. So we are just completing our advanced topics, right? So CSS Miscellaneous 3 is what we are covering right now. And this is lesson number 57. 56 videos are already done and it's there in the playlist. So you can go ahead and watch it if you have not watched it yet, right? Okay, now if you do not know about me, so let me tell you about myself. My name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I have also worked as a subject matter expert and research analyst in most of the edtech companies. I have 3+ years of teaching experience and I have trained graduates and corporate employees in Edison and Capgemini. I have trained more than 30K students till now and it is increasing day by day. The subjects which I take is mostly into front-end development, back-end languages, databases, and interview preparation. Some tips and tricks on how to crack interviews. Uh, an update on that, because in yesterday's sessions I also told you that we'll be coming up with interview videos, right, where I'll be sharing my personal experience and what all things you should be knowing about when you are sitting in front of an interviewer, right? So those sessions I have planned and let's see when we can do this. Maybe by next week, maybe by 22nd or 23rd, we'll try to plan it, and that will not be in this playlist. That will be in a different playlist. So we are going to start a new playlist by the name of interview preparation or something like that, and then we are going to start that. Okay, you will get to know about it soon. In my live sessions only I'll discuss about it. So you can use my code RIT10 and get a free level sample test paper. Now, the people who do not know what is Relevel, then just wait for 1 minute. I'm going to tell you about it. But if you already know about Relevel, then you must be knowing that you have to give an actual test of 1000 marks and you have to score good marks there, right? So there's a very beneficial point here that you can use the code RIT10 to get a free level sample test paper, which will help you to prepare for an actual test, right? You will get an idea which kind of questions can be asked and what questions will be prepared, correct? So let's move ahead and let's discuss about Relevel, and then we'll jump to our session. We'll start our CSS Miscellaneous part 3. Okay, now what is Relevel is basically a product by Unacademy, which is basically have a certain motto. Now to understand that motto, and first understand what is happening in engineering colleges. So in most of the students who are from tier 3 college, they are applying to companies, but they're not getting calls. for their interview. Maybe because they are from tier 3 college, and most MNC do not go there, right? They want a good college students. So this is why. But you have the skill, you have the talent, but still you're not getting benefit out of it. So this is one reason. The second reason can be like, you are not done BE or BTech, you have done some other degree, you have graduated as maybe BCom, you have done some BSc or BCA, MCA, something like that, and now you want to move into IT or IT field, IT sector, right? So you've applied to 50-60 companies, but still you're not getting any callback. Maybe the reason is of your degree. Now here in Relevel, what is this? It is India's first test hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs. So you can get a job based on your skill and talent and not anything else. So if you have the skill, if you have the talent, we are not going to ask you about your degree or anything else. Now, what are the benefits of participating in these tests? This test is free, first of all. So it is of 1000 marks and you have to score above 700 to get eligible for it. And once you are eligible, we'll create a profile and we'll share it with all our client companies, or 50 plus companies including top startups and unicorns are there with us. So you have a high chance of getting interviewed and getting hired as well. There are 1000 plus job positions across business development, front-end development and back-end development. So there are a lot of opportunities available for you, right? So with Relevel, you are in a unique position to invite interest from companies instead of hunting for opportunities on your own, right? Now, how do you register yourself in Relevel? What is the process, right? So if you scroll down, you'll be able to get a link in the description, which when you click will lead you to this web page where you can actually put your mobile number and get an OTP, right? Once you do that, after that, you'll get into this page where you have to choose the test, which test you want to give. So suppose you have the skills on front-end development, you can select that and then you have to book a slot. So you need to book a slot when you want to give the level test of your own choice. Slots are limited, so I suggest you to book it fast. Once you do that, you have to fill the details for getting the admit card. So you have to fill the full name, email ID, birth year, current state, and then your gender. After that, you have to put down the code here. So remember the code, it's RIT10. Once you apply, you can create account and your account will be created with your name on the top left, on the top right, and then you'll get a sample paper. So this sample paper, you will be able to analyze which kind of questions can be asked, how the questions will be formed, and it will help you a lot in your passing the actual test, right? So this is how you can register for Relevel right now. Do not wait for it because as I told you, slots are limited, so it's gonna fill very soon. So what you have to do, you have to do the same process what I have told you, and if you have already done it, then all the best for the actual exam. If you have not done it, go ahead and do it. If you are thinking that no, I'm not ready for it, then go ahead and watch all the playlist which is going on right now in the CodeBeyond channel. Many educators are taking many different topics like DSA, CP, and front end, back end, Python, SQL. Most of the all technologies are getting taught here, right? So go ahead and watch the live sessions, upskill yourself. When you're ready, then register for Relevel, right? So this was all about Relevel. Please join the Telegram channel as well so that you get the notifications of all our live sessions, when a particular educator is coming live, at what time, at what, by which topic, right? All those things, all those updates will get in the Telegram channel. So go ahead and look in the description. You'll find a link for the Telegram channel. Join that Telegram channel as well. The next is, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is CodeBeyond, so that you get an update and notifications in the YouTube app as well. Also, if you're liking this session, please like and share. Okay, cool. So let's get started with our session, which is CSS Miscellaneous Part 3. And in this one, we are going to understand most of the topics of CSS. And again, this is not gonna be of 1 hour. I'm going to tell you that this is gonna be taking 2.5 hours, maximum 3. Okay, so stick to it. We'll take some breaks in between, but if you do not have time, you can go ahead and do your work. There's no problem. You can come back when you're free and you can watch it again, right? Because the video will be there. Okay, now in miscellaneous part 3, what are the topics which you are going to cover? First of all, we are going to see rounded corners, right? Because these are some advanced topics and we have not used it in our web pages till now. We have created so many things till now using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but we have never used these things which I'm going to teach you right now, correct? So let me open the Visual Studio Code so that you can see it. And also I'll be opening a Chrome browser so that you can see the output of whatever code we'll write. Correct? Okay, so now coming back to the code, I'm going to create a particular folder here. So let's say I'm going to write here advanced CSS. This is the folder name, and I'm just going to create a index.html and one more thing, which is CSS. Cool. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to index.html, hit enter. I hope now you guys are creating some of the applications by your own. If you're not doing it, then please do not waste your time. It's 57th video, 56 videos are already live, and I think that is containing everything so that you can crack an interview on front-end development, right? So if you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and one of the programming language, maybe Python, maybe C or C++, I think you're good to go, right? So do not wait for it. This is the time that you start creating some applications on your own. Keep on adding it in your resumes, right? Because do not expect everything from my side, because if everything I will provide, you're just going to copy and paste and you're going to show it to the put it in your resume, right? That will not work. Obviously interviewer will get to know that you have done it from somewhere else. So you have to create something of your own and you have to put it in your resume. Start giving interviews if you're preparing for it, because this is the time. Now don't wait for it. You have to keep on giving the interviews now. Understanding advanced CSS. Okay, so this is the page. Let's open with live server and let's have a look whether I'm getting the output or not. So yes, my code is working, my browser is working, everything is ready, server is also ready. So let's go ahead and try out the rounded corners. Now in these topics, mostly what we are going to do is we are going to understand how to make your web page beautiful. Okay, not in the sense that basic concepts which we have done, types of CSS, types of selectors, all those are completed. Okay, so in these sessions, these are very small topics. Okay, just rounded corners means you have to make your corners rounded. How do you do it? How do you do it? I'm just going to tell you that. Next, I'm going to move to some other topic. Again, next, I'm going to move to some other topic. So these are some small topics which will make your web page attractive. And that's what we are doing here right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we are going to create some div elements, some paragraphs, and then we are going to slowly color it up. 1 second. Okay, so in the body, I'm going to just write here paragraph, and let's say that I'm writing here rounded corners. So we have 3 rounded corners. Okay, so I'm going to put up one more. All these 3 paragraphs which I'm creating, I do not want to give all these things the same style. So I'm going to give an ID here, which will be different for all of them. So let's say rounded 1. Similarly, rounded 2, rounded 3. Okay. Hi Somu, any tips for projects like some web apps? There are so many projects which you can find. Okay, most common ones which you can do is very easy ones are everywhere. You have done this and I've showed you also, so don't do those. If you want to apply, if you want to bring it up in your resume, those kind of projects are basically your music player, right? And do some enhancement in those music players, because obviously when I'm saying that you can create a music player, you will search it in YouTube, right? Or you will search it in Google. that's fine. You will search it, you will see the code, you will get an idea, okay, this is how I have to create, this is what is the main basic logic, right? So that's fine, you can do that. And once you go ahead and apply it, once you start creating the project, apply something of your own. Try to see what enhancement you can do. Okay, when you have created one music mp3 player or kind of thing in a normal way, try to make it more attractive, or trying to match it with all the other music players which are already there, like Spotify. Okay, so Spotify, what you can do, you can clone it. Think about how you can clone it, how you can actually make the copy of Spotify. Try to do that. It will be hard, it will be really hard, but it's not like you can't do it only using HTML, JavaScript. You can do it. Only the maybe the only the UI, you can do it, right? So once you will do it, you will get an idea, okay, how to move this thing to the left. Okay, अगर मैं ऐसा करता हूँ तो ये नीचे आएगा, अगर ये मैं ऐसा करता हूँ तो ये बगल में जाएगा. You will get an idea. You won't ask everybody, right? And once you do that, you will get some doubts, and I am not available every time. So what you will do, you will Google. And once you will Google, you will get an habit of Googling. That is also one thing which will make you stand out, correct? Because Googling is the most important thing for a developer. Okay, so वो skill भी आना चाहिए कि आप जब Google कर रहे हो, then आंसर कौन सा सही पकड़ रहे हैं आप, बिकॉज गूगल बहुत सारा आंसर देता है. गूगल इज गिविंग यू लाइक थाउजेंड ऑफ रिजल्ट्स. विच रिजल्ट इज करेक्ट, which result is having minimum lines of code, which result is more effective, that you need to choose. And वो सारे skills आपको तभी आएंगे when you will do it, जब आदत पड़ेगा तब. So that's one thing. Tips for projects, music mp3 हो गया. कोई एक ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट बना लीजिए, राइट. डू नॉट कॉपी इट, मतलब अभी अमेजोन या मिंत्रा का कॉपी मत करना. जस्ट नॉर्मली क्रिएट योर ओन थिंग, राइट, योर ओन ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट. मे बी आपके पापा का कुछ बिजनेस है, ओके, लाइक मे बी इलेक्ट्रिशियन का दुकान है, राइट. सो हाउ विल यू ट्रांसफॉर्म दैट इलेक्ट्रिशियन का दुकान इनटू अ वेब पेज, इन अ वेबसाइट. उसका सारा प्रोडक्ट का फोटो लीजिए एंड देन पुट इट इन योर वेबसाइट, राइट. नेम इट, व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल प्राइस, नेम इट. डिस्काउंटेड प्राइस कितना होगा, नेम इट. रेटिंग वाला सिंबल्स डाल दो, व्यूज डाल दो, राइट. ऐड टू कार्ट का ऑप्शन डाल दो. ट्राई टू डू ऑल दोज थिंग्स, करेक्ट. सो कुछ नया होगा, राइट. एंड व्हेन अ प्रोजेक्ट, व्हेन समबडी विल आस्क, राइट, कि आपने ये प्रोजेक्ट क्यों बनाया, देन यू हैव द आंसर. यू कैन से दैट my dad is working, he is a businessman and he is having an electrician shop. So I thought, why do not I help him? And so what you're doing, you're contributing, right? You're not just doing for it for a sake that I can create a project. No, you're doing it because you're helping somebody, you're helping your father. And वो project, वो web application में भी बाद में use आ जाए, मे बी लोग उसको use कर रहे हैं. So think like that, okay, think in that manner. So e-commerce website is one of the best examples. YouTube जैसा कुछ ऐप बना सकते हैं आप, राइट. आई नो दोज एप्स आर क्रिएटेड यूजिंग एंगुलर और रिएक्ट, बट राइट नाउ just create the UI. Don't go involved into the framework or the backend programming. Don't do those things, just the UI. Okay, ये सब डिस्कस करेंगे हम लोग इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन वाले टॉपिक में. बहुत अच्छे से डीपली मैं बताऊंगा क्या करना है क्या नहीं. अभी थोड़ा ऐसी आइडिया दे रहा हूँ. और मे बी इन फ्यूचर आई विल कम अप विद सम प्रोजेक्ट्स लाइक mp3 प्लेयर जो मैंने बताया. मे बी मैं उसको भी बनाने आऊँगा, राइट, यूजिंग जावास्क्रिप्ट एंड बूटस्ट्रैप. वो तभी करेंगे जब थोड़ा हाई लेवल का हो जाएगा, रिएक्ट वेक्ट पढ़ लेंगे, उसके बाद करेंगे, राइट. यस, यू हैव टू. एनीबडी एल्स, इफ यू हैविंग एनी डाउट्स प्लीज डू लेट मी नो. किसी और को कुछ भी पूछना है तो पूछ लीजिएगा. नाउ लेट्स मूव अहेड. इसमें हम लोग कुछ स्टाइल्स देंगे, राइट. And I'm just writing an internal style sheet right now because एक साथ together दिखेगा. I'll just use ID because I've given ID. So this is rounded one. Now understand, when I'm saying rounded one, I'm moving into rounded corners, first wala paragraph, right? So here what I'm going to give, I'm going to give a background color. So let's say I'm giving here as aquamarine. Okay. The next what I'm going to give is going to give a padding. Understand what is padding. So border से थोड़ा सा space आ जाएगा, right? So I'm just giving a border of 20 pixel. The next I'm going to give a width. So width is basically providing a space for you, the horizontal space, and I'm just going to give a height also. So let's say 5 or 10 pixel. Okay. Now, if you look at it, what I have done, I have given a height and width. When I'm giving a height and width, that means कुछ तो shape बनेगा, right? Because I have the background color also. Animation और transition में आपने देखा था जब when I'm giving a height and a width and a background color, it is providing a box, right? So this will do something, correct? Let's go to the browser and let's see what is happening. So if I go to the browser, you can see there is something happening, right? So I have a padding of 20 pixel, which is here. The width is 200 pixel and the height is 10 pixel. Background color is aquamarine, right? But the corners are still the same. The corners are not changing, right? There's nothing changed here. And let me see if it is in 100%. It is not in 100%. So right now, this is the way how is it looking like, okay? I've just made it this much because you can clearly see it, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some border radius. So have a look what's going to happen if I use border radius. This I've explained you in the table, okay? जब हम लोग table का पढ़ा रहे थे तो मैंने आपको sorry, जब मैं border का पढ़ा रहा था, then I told you what is border radius, but not very clearly I said you what is this. इसमें you will get to know a lot about border radius because it's not only one side which I'm going to give. I want to give different border radius to all the 4 corners. So वो भी आपको सीखना है, right? Guru Sharan, I know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Can I take the job? Guru Sharan, it will be really good if you can add one more programming language to your list, right? जैसे कि Python या Java या C++, जो भी सही लगे आपको. See, the most important thing is Python easy language है, जल्दी पढ़ लेते हैं, 15 दिन में सिलेबस खत्म हो जाएगा Python का. That's why Python is recommended, okay? But if you already know C++, it's fine. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript advanced JavaScript भी आना चाहिए because interviewer पूछ सकता है advanced JavaScript. So yes, HTML, CSS, JavaScript and Python. If you know that, go ahead and give an interview without thinking about anything, okay? DSA ये सब थोड़ा बहुत knowledge आना चाहिए, like maybe graphs, binary tree, sorting, searching, ये सब चीज़ें आनी चाहिए, ये सब नॉर्मल है. फिबोनाची सीरीज, प्राइम नंबर, ये सब बहुत बेसिक चीज़ें हैं, ये सब तो आना ही चाहिए, राइट? सो इफ़ यू नो दीज थिंग्स यू आर गुड टू गो. एसक्यूएल जहाँ तक बात करें तो डेटाबेस है, राइट? एंड डेटाबेस का अगर आपको थोड़ा सा भी नॉलेज है कि क्वेरी क्या होता है, व्हाट इज़ सेलेक्ट, व्हाट इज़ इंसर्ट, व्हाट इज़ अपडेट, हाउ टू डिलीट, ट्रंकेट, डिलीट, ड्रॉप में क्या डिफरेंस है, इफ़ यू नो दीज थिंग्स, बेसिक एसक्यूएल, बहुत बेसिक एसक्यूएल, देन दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वर्किंग. तब तो आपका प्लेसमेंट पक्का है, ओके? सो try to get these things in your mind. Now, why I'm saying these all languages, why I added Python and SQL also, because many a times interviewer does not only want you to know only the front end part, they also want that आपको थोड़ा idea होना चाहिए backend और database का, correct? See, if you only know the 30% or 40% of creating a web architecture or a web page, that's not enough, right? You should have some knowledge about the backend or the database. थोड़ा सा भी अगर उसका नॉलेज है तो वो कंपनी के अंदर इन्हांस हो जाएगा. इनसाइड अ कंपनी व्हेन यू विल गो, व्हेन यू विल गेट पेड, you will understand how SQL works inside a company, how Python works inside a company. So that is not a problem, but you should have some basic knowledge about it. So yes, these all are the things which you need to know. So I hope you have seen how rounded 1 I have done. Now we will do rounded 2. I hope I have covered your answer, Guru Sharan. If you have anything else, please do let me know. I think I have told this answer in Hindi. If you do not know or it's difficult for you to understand Hindi, then please do let me know. I'll repeat that in English. So here I'm just going to give a border because अच्छा मैंने border radius आपको नहीं दिखाया, right? 1 second. I'm gonna save this, have a look what is happening. So you can see border radius मैंने 25 pixel I have given. You can see this is what is 25 pixel from all the 4 corners because the only one value I've given, right? You can see here only one value I've given here. So it is taking the whole, all four corners. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a border here in the rounded 2, and in the border I'm just going to say 2 pixels solid, let's say black. Okay. And here I'm going to put up all the same things. So these things will be same. Even the border radius also I'll keep the same. So here what is going to happen, that it will have a border. Okay. And you can see here that is having a border. Border नहीं दोगे आप, if you are not giving a border, तो rounded border radius भी नहीं काम करेगा. ठीक है. So you have to give either of the two things. Either you give the background color or either you give the border. Then only it will be visible. Then only the border radius will be visible. That's why I've taken this example. So इसमें background color था, that's why it is visible. इसमें border है, इसलिए that is visible. Okay. Now let's move to the next one, where I'll be using something else. We'll try something else. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to say rounded 3, and I'm going to just put up a background. Okay. And this background, I'm going to put up a URL. Now understand what is URL. I've already told you this in the background topic. If you've not seen that, please go ahead and watch it. So in this, I told you that we can add any of the images, right? So in the images folder, I have some images. Let me just show you what are those. So if you can see here, we have so many images here. Let's say I'm going to take this one. Okay. Background.jpg. So images slash, then I'm just going to write here background.jpg. Okay. And this is the URL. This is the image. This is the background image, which I have kept here, right? So obviously when I'm kept a background image, I need to give something more, and you know what it is. This is basically background repeat, because I've told you whenever you put a background image, you have to give some of the other things like background size, background repeat, so that this does not repeat or does not, or you can repeat also. If you write repeat, you can get it repeated, but right now I don't want that. So let's see what is happening. Okay, I have not given padding, width and height. I'm gonna put this up. Anything wrong in the background? Because background is not coming. Okay, this is inside a folder. Screen stuck. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I was in the browser. I'm so sorry. Yeah, now you can see the code. Thank you so much, Madhav. I've just written one normal code here. Just have a look. Take your time. Sorry, I did not figure out that the screen is in the browser. Okay, now you can see. So I've just written one background. All the things are same. Padding, width, height, border radius, everything is same. Just background repeat. I've given no repeat so that the image should not get repeated. And I've given a URL. But this URL will not work here because you can see here I've created a folder which is advanced CSS, right? And I am fetching images which is outside the folder advanced CSS, correct? So this is not gonna work here, right? So what I'll do is I will bring up all the images in my folder itself, okay? So just give me 1 second. I hope now you can see the code, right? I'll take all the images and I'll put it up in the advanced CSS folder itself. Now you can see here all the images are right here, right? So what I'm going to do, I can remove this now. I do not need this. I can save it, and now if I go back, you can see here there's a background. Okay, so there's a background, and this background, again, when I'm giving a background, I've written no repeat, so that's why it's not getting repeated. It's still, if you give no repeat or repeat, it's not going to repeat because my size is very small and the image is very big. So it's not going to repeat. If the image is very small, then only the image will repeat. But right now everything is fine. Okay. So cool. Now, if you have understood this, now let's understand how we can actually go ahead and write or give the border radius to different portions or different corners, right? So let's try it in that manner. Now understand, when you are giving border radius, right, this is not only the one value which you can give here a lot of values, okay? But it does not work as padding. Do you remember in padding what we used to do? In padding we used to write 4 values, and all the 4 values were actually like this: first top, and then right, and then bottom, and then left. This is how we used to write a particular uh, padding, right? Let me comment this. Correct. This is how we write it in padding. But now what we are going to do is we are going to use border radius, but this is not how this happens here. Okay, I'll tell you how things happens in border radius. So when you're doing border radius, there's no top or right or bottom, right? Border radius is basically on the corners. So when I'm saying that this is the first one, the first value will be for top left, and you know what is top left, correct? And then next is we are going to have top right. Similarly, we'll have then again bottom right, and the next we'll have top left. Okay, so not top left, bottom left. Okay, so this is how we can give 4 values for different values to make our changes in the borders. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to copy this, paste it, just changing these all, and I'm going to create some more pages like this. Okay, now let's take an example of this one. So I'm going to copy this. Which project are added to resume? Bhavna, just wait for 1 minute. I have written it somewhere and I will read it from there, and I can tell it to you, right? So just wait for some time. I'll tell it to you. Just let me complete this. So now border radius, when you're giving, right, you can see top left, top right, correct? So let's say that I'm giving here some mixed values, correct? So let's say I'm giving here 15 pixel, 50 pixel, 25 pixel, and 2 pixel. So you can understand how it will look like, correct? 15 pixel is basically this side, the top left, then here, then down, and then again on the bottom, correct? Have a look what is happening in the fourth rounded corner. So if I go back, you can see here, this region is 15, this is 50, so it is more curved, right? And then you have the 25, and then you have the 2 pixel, correct? Now please try to do this for on your own for 2 minutes. I'll just answer the resumes. I think Guru Sharan was also asking the same thing, and Bhavna is also asked the same thing. So just give me 1 minute. I'm just gonna tell you what are the projects you can create. Okay, I hope you guys are doing this. Let me do one more. So here I'm going to just change the numbers. I've given 5 once again. Here is the code. Have a look in the code. So I've given rounded 5. Okay. And the border radius, I'm going to just change this. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to give 4 numbers here. Okay. I'm not going to give 4 things. I'm going to give here only 3 numbers. Only 3 numbers. Now how it will work? Now understand that this is not going to work like your top left, top right, or bottom left. What's going to happen here is this is going to give me top left. Okay. And then the next one is going to give me top right and bottom right. One second. Let me write it itself. So here what's going to happen? I'll give a comma, bottom left. So here it works diagonally. So if you look here, top right and bottom left, what is it? Top right and bottom left. Top right is this corner and bottom left is this corner. So diagonally the diagonal value will be 50 pixel, the middle value. This will become right. So understand this, okay? Understand this in a very clear manner, because here we have given 4 values. That is why it is taking top left, right, bottom left. Okay, all 4 corners, 1 2 3 4. But here it's not the same. So here we have 3 values. 15 pixel will be on top left, top right and bottom left will be 50 pixel diagonally, and then 25 pixel the left one, which is bottom right. Okay, so let's save this. Let's have a look. If you look, diagonal things will be same. Can you see the diagonal? This one and this one is 50 pixel, right? So that is what it is. Try it out, have a look, and just give me 1 minute. I'll just tell you. Okay, so what are projects you can add in your project? Okay, just let me tell you about that. I'll come to the code screen. Listen to it carefully, okay, because this is very useful for you. So first of all, the first app which you can create is weather application. Okay, weather web app. In a mobile you have your weather application, right? So you can create that, and you can use here all HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So weather app is one of the project. Then you can also create the music player, which I told you earlier also, right? And then you can create a to-do list. Do not just make a to-do list as it is, like which I created, which was very common, right? Do not do that. Try to enhance it. Try to involve more JavaScript code in that. Okay, try to use parent element, child element, creating a new element, all those things, so that your to-do list becomes much more attractive, much more useful. Okay, so the next one is calculators. Again, do not create a simple calculator. You can add logarithmic equations in that. Try to build that kind of calculators. Next is again clocks and countdown. Clocks and countdown is basically the digital clock and countdown projects. So countdown is basically when you have a time limit and it gets decreased or increased, so that you can do. Here also in clocks, you can enhance a project by making it attractive. You can prepare a particular clock itself, the design of a clock. Not only it is displaying the time, no, make it attractive, much more attractive. Then you can have tip carousel. Okay, carousel is basically, I've also explained this in a project of carousel, where you have several different images and you click on the arrows and different images comes into the display. So you can also enhance that. Try to make it much more attractive. Try to add GIFs, right? So that in a carousel you can add GIFs, and also gives a timer to it, so that you don't have to click and after every 5 seconds or 3 seconds next image is coming up. Try to do that. The next, you can have a game kind of thing, right? So a ping pong game will work. Okay, these are some freshers level projects, not experienced people. Do not do this if you're experienced people. So ping pong scorekeeper or some kind of game you can create, right? So next, games, you can also create something like okay, one, what you can do is, you have different emojis, right? You have different emojis, right? So what you can create is, you can create such application which gives you that what emoji represents which emotion, right? So that kind of project you can create. Next, a movie recommendation web app, right? This is also very famous. Like not like Book My Show, but basically a movie recommendation is something like, if you like thriller movies, then you have a section of thriller. When you click on it, it will give you all details about all the thriller movies. If you want to go to drama, then you can click on it, it will give you all the drama movies. So that kind of things you can create. Next, what else? You can create a lot of games, okay? Like a snake game or tic-tac-toe. There's a multiple card game, right? Switch card game, that also you can create. Tic-tac-toe is also there. So all these games also you can create. Also one more, this one, like a system, like a library management system, or such kind of things. Those systems also you can create using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So basically, library management system, hotel management system, airline reservation system, these all are created in a Java profile. So if you know Java code, you do those projects. But there we don't do UI, we only do the backend programming, right? How we can save the data and all. So in using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and SQL, you can create a system also, like library management system or something like that, so that data is getting saved and data is getting fetched, and you can also add it in resume, so that you can say that I know SQL, I've done a project based on that. It's very good to know CRUD applications. If you know CRUD applications like create, read, update, and delete, that's a very bonus point for you all. Because CRUD applications, if you're a front-end developer, did I get stuck? I hope I'm live. Right, so those CRUD applications also you can create. Try to find it in Google. You will find all the applications such like that. I hope I'm not stuck and everything is working fine. So I hope Bhavna and Guru Sharan, you have got an idea which kind of applications do you need to create, or which kind of projects you can add it in a resume. Okay, there are a lot of projects which you can do, but these are the most common ones which most of the freshers are doing right now. So try to do that, try to create those things, and slowly make it much more harder. Okay, if you have done all those basic projects or intermediate projects, try to go to advanced projects. Okay, try to build those systems which I've told you. So that will be really a tough one. Okay, so right now we have seen the three numbers when we give, okay, the 3 digits. Now we are going to do the 2 digits. So have a look what's going to happen. So I'm just going to copy this, I'm going to paste it, and just going to change this to rounded 6. And in rounded 6, I'm going to just give two value. Now in two values is basically the two diagonals. Okay, so first will be for top left and bottom right, because that is what is my diagonal. Okay, and the next one will be my top right and bottom left. Okay, so first one is top left bottom right diagonal, top right bottom left diagonal. So 15 and 25 pixel. Let's have a look what is happening. So if I go back to my browser, you can look here that these two diagonals are same and these two diagonals are same. Let me change the color so that you can see it more clearly. Okay, fine. So this is what is your two digits when you're giving two values in your border radius. Let's move ahead quickly, because we have discussed a lot about our interview things. So let's move fast now. Okay, now next things what we can do here is we can also give elliptical corners. Now what is elliptical corners? Basically you can bring up division symbol. So let me just show you. I'm just going to have here 7, 8 and 9. Bhavna, I hope you also got okay, you have got the different projects. I hope that is clear. So rounded 7, rounded 8, rounded 9, and here I'm going to just copy this, I'm going to paste it, and let's see what is happening. So this is 7. Now here border radius, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remove this comment first of all. And here I'm going to just write some division. Now have a look what I'm doing here. I'm writing 50 pixel by 15 pixel. Okay. Now what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is providing an elliptical corners. Now how does this work? Have a look. So there are different ways how you can give this, but right now I'm just giving 50 pixel by 50 by 15. So have a look what is going to happen. If I save this and if I go back, you can see here the last one. You can see here that this is what is called as elliptical. Okay, only one value I've given. I have not given two values. If you think I've given two values, no, it is not. It is just one value, which is 50 by 15. Okay, 50 by 15 is giving me something like this. What if I give a different thing? So copy this, paste it here, rounded 8. And here I'm going to just give 15 by 50. Okay, let's save this. Let's have a look what is happening. So if you look here, obviously it's gonna go opposite. So you can see here these two, you can see, let me change the color of these two so that blue one will not get, you will not get confused. So I'm just gonna give here a green color. So have a look here. You can see this is 50 by 15 and this is 15 by 50. So 50 means you can see here the top one is having a 50 curve, but then when it comes down, then it's minimum, the 15 one. But here you can see from the top it's 15 and the side on the left and right hand side it's 50. So that's how it's getting divided, 50 by 15 and 15 by 50. Let's see what happens if I give here a different value, which is just a percentage. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to give any division symbol, something like that, but just going to give here 50 percentage. So you know, pixel, percentage, em, these all are our units. Have a look what is happening. So if you look here, this is totally 50 percentage. So it's all elliptical. Okay, a total ellipse. Now 50% means that from all the corners it is 50%. That means half. So it's not even a corner. There's no corner here. Everything is round. Okay, so this is what is the border radius. Quickly we'll move to our next topic. So border radius is completed. Now we are going to go ahead and do some border images. Now this is a very important topic because many times when we create a web page, we want some borders. Okay, but borders, we have only certain styles, right? If you look at this border, when we have given it here, right, we have solid, we have written solid, and instead of solid we can write dotted, dashed, inset, outset, rigid, and many others are there, right? But only limited things are there. We don't have extra, we don't have anything else. What if I want a border which is designed, right? What if I want some borders which is let me show you. So if I go back to my browser, what if I just search here borders, border image, right? And you can see here these kind of borders, right? I want these kind of borders in my web page. Suppose this kind of border or this kind of border. Then how can I apply it? Suppose this one. Okay, so how can I apply this in my web page? How can I use this border? Because this border is just an image. Can you see this is an image, right? It is not anything else. It is not giving me a border like a border, right? It is just an image. How can I use this in my web page to act as a border? So let's try to see that. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my code, and here we are going to write a program to understand how a border image will work. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is going to comment this. Okay, 1 second. I think already there are some comments, so it's not gonna get commented. Okay, now using border images are really easy. What you have to do here is you have to just give paragraph, let's say an ID. So let's say I'm giving here as image border. Okay, and then I'm going to just write one paragraph. So let's say I'm just writing here This is the use of designed border. Okay, this is what is the paragraph which I have given. Now here in the style we are going to write something. So for an ID, I'll have img border. Inside this we are going to write border 10 pixel solid and transparent. Now understand what is transparent. This is the color property. We used to give here a color, right? But we are not giving a color here, but instead we are giving a color property. So what is this color property, which we are going to see again in the next topic? We have several color properties like a transparent. We have several other else. We are going to see that. But what is transparent? We'll make it transparent. It's not visible. Okay. But why am I giving that? Why am I saying 10 pixels solid and then transparent? Because I want to include a border image, right? So instead of showing a black color or a red color border, I want to show the background image with 10 pixel and a solid. Okay. So here what I'm going to give, I'm going to give a border image. Let's write it. Border image and URL. So you can see here in my files, in my images, I already have one which is download.jpg. As you can see, this is the border which I've downloaded. So I'm going to just put up here download.jpg. Okay. And next what I'm going to give, I'm going to just give a padding to my text. I understand this is not to the border, this to the text. Whatever text I've written in my paragraph, that text will have some padding. So I'm just giving 20 pixel, right? Let's close this. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser and let's have a look. So if you look here, we are not getting anything, right? We are not getting any border here, but we are getting something here. Can you see this, right? So this is basically a particular proof that my image is there. Okay, but the whole image is not there. If I go to inspect, if I go to my, okay, let me remove this. If I go to my code of paragraph, you can see here that the border is that yellow color thing, right? The border is showing that yellow color and you can see the border is there. The border is there. That is why it is showing me that yellow color. So border is there, but it's not visible. It is only visible on the corners, right? Now let's see what else do we need to write to understand this. So what you have to do here is we have to give some extra values here. So after this border image, if I give here 30, let's see what happens. If I save this, if I go back, you can see here, it is giving me a border. And that is the same border, the image which I have used. If you're not being able to see it, let me maximize it. Can you see now? The same image. And it's very interesting, right? Because the border which I downloaded from Google was an image. And how come inside this image, this particular text is coming? Correct? So that's the number which I've given 30 is a scale value. Okay. So I've just given a scale value so that the image can be broadened up and can be visible. Okay. That's what I've given here. The next what I'm going to type here up here is I'm going to just write round. Now this is one of the property again. So border image will have some properties. First, it will have the URL, that means the source of the image. It will have the scale value. Then it will have one more property. So let's see what happens in round. One second, let me remove this. I've written round, I have not saved the file. Earlier it was looking like this. Earlier when it is not round, it's looking like this. Now while writing round, after that if I save, you can see the changes. So it got compressed, right? The border, each of the border got compressed and now it looks more beautiful, right? So this is how you can give some values. I'll try to explain you much more values now and we'll see some changes in the code also. Okay, so these are the three values which you can give, but there are more values which you can give. So I'll just let you know what are those. Now any doubt till here, please do let me know, otherwise we'll move to the next part. Any doubt till here? talking about the border image, what all things does it take? So let me make you understand that. First, it will take the border image source. Okay, first number or first value, whatever you are giving, it's border image source. The next will be border image slice value. So this is the value which you're giving, like 30 or something like that. And then you're going to give a width, and then you're going to give an outside value, and the next you're going to give whether it will be repeated or not. Okay, so these are the 5 values which you give. I'm just going to remove this. Remember, in this way: source, slice, width, outside, and repeat. Okay, so source is basically this source. Slice is I've given 30, and then width I've not given. So outside and repeat. These are the 5 values which you can give. Round, we can change it to something else. We can also give it here something stretch, right? So let's say that I'm removing this. I'm writing here stretch. I'm not saving this. 1 second, what happened? Okay, stretch. I'm not removing this. I'm not saving it also. We can also use this via using z-index to the image, right? Z-index, if you do to the image, the border image, yes, you can do it. But in that case, what you have to do, you have to bring your border image, whichever you have chosen, you have to specify the width and height of it, because your image which you see here is only this much, right? And by using z-index, it's not gonna know that where do you want the text. Suppose if you want the text over it, you can do it. But what if I want the text inside this, only inside this box? And sometimes will happen that the text will overlap the border. So you have to increase the width and height of the image, and you have to do it as a trial and error method, right? So that will take time. But here I'm not specifying any width and height. As you can see, I've just written border image and everything is done automatically. So if I show you the output, you can see here, if I minimize, then also the border is the complete border. It is not taking a specified width and height. I have not given that. And the text is coming inside it. How does it know that it has to come inside it? That's the use of border image. Z-index, you have to tell the code that I want the text to be inside that image. You have to tell it by using Z-index. But here it is not. So yes, you can use Z-index. Maybe 2 or 3 lines more CSS properties will be used, but it will work. So you can. Now, let me zoom it again, because I have not showed you what is a stretch. So I have not saved the file while writing stretch. I'm going to save this, and now it is stretched. So stretched is by default, as you can see, it is again in the same normal way. It was not round. So this is what is a stretch. Okay. Now I'll do some changes in my code as well. Okay, let me close this. I'll do some changes in the code. This 30 which I've given, I'm going to change it to some other values, and we'll see what is happening. So let's say I'm changing it to 50. Let's do something. Let's first check out how it was looking in 30. This is what is round 30. Now I'm going back, changing this to 50, going back, saving this. This is what is 50. What if I change it to 80? I'm changing it. Just have a look. It's getting more small, right? What if I give here just 10, right? So you can see here the visibility is now, basically it's not the visibility, it's basically that image has been broadened. And once it is broadened, you can see that some things you can see, but the total border you won't be able to see. Okay, what if I give 20? Okay, so it's in the maximum value 20. 30 will become a little bit less, then less, then less, then less. It's gonna work like that. what if I'm giving here not a particular number but a percentage? So let's understand how that works. Going back to the browser, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give here 20 percentage. Okay, so in the code, as you can see, I've given 20 percentage. Okay, let's come back, not save the file, saving it right now, and you can see this is 20 percentage. So it's just similarly like your pixel and percentage. If you're not giving any particular unit, and when you're giving any particular unit, this is what is the difference. So what if I change it to 50%? I'm changing it to 50. Have a look. So now only the corners are visible. This is not there. What if I change it to 80? I don't think anything. Okay, so it's much more lesser. Okay, so similarly, whatever values you want to give, you can give, and you'll be able to see this much. Again, understand this is in maximum zoom. That's why you can see that right now you won't be able to see anything. This is 100, and you can see only just light borders are there. So if you want to use, however you want to use in your web page, you can use these things, right? This is what is your border image. Fine. Let's come back and let's move ahead with the another things. Now, you remember background, right? We have learned about background. We have seen how background works. We can put up a background image in our web page, and the whole web page will have that background image, correct? But now what we are going to do is we are going to put up multiple backgrounds. Okay, so how we are going to do that? First of all, I'm just going to put up here a div element, and I'll just say id equal to sample. Okay, so in this division, I'm just going to put up some statements. So let's say I'm just going to write here h1 and welcome back to this live session. Okay, this is what is the h1 which I've written. The next, I'm going to put up a paragraph. So let's say my paragraph is basically a lorem ipsum, the default paragraph. I'm just doing that, and I'm going to again put up the same thing. Okay, so this is the paragraph which I've given here. Okay, and we have some one h1 also. This is the div which I've given an id sample. So this is what I've given here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up a sample, and if I give a background, if I give like this, if I say that it will have the background dot jpg, right? If I'm doing this, what's gonna happen? If I save this, let's go to the web page, and you can see this is what I'm getting, right? Let me make it 100%. This is what I'm getting here, right? And to this, you can see here that paragraphs are basically paragraphs and headings are basically giving me the height of this image, right? If I purposely want to give any height, I can give it. So let's say here I want to give a height, so I can give that. Okay, so let's say that I'm giving here 300 pixel for now. So you can see here, right? But now suppose this is the only background which I've chosen, right? But what I want is inside this background image, I want to add one more image. Okay, somewhere in between, or maybe here, or maybe here, somewhere I want to add one more image. Then how you can do? So biologically, what you should do is you can add a background, and you can just simply add something like this url background.jpg, right? But that's not going to work. So what you have to do is you have to use the background image, which is this background. Let me not give background here. See, the difference between background and background image is this background is a shorthand property. Okay, this is a shorthand property. You can see it is written here. It's a shorthand property for writing many of the things like background color, background image, all those things. So I'm not going to put here background. I'm going to put here background image. Nothing will change. This will have the same thing, right? So I'm just using background image because here in this, I'm going to add one more image. That's why I'm writing that. Okay. Now what image I need to add? So let's choose it. Not this one. We can try this one, bird one. Not this one. Okay, let's try bird1.gif, this one. Okay, so let's close this, let's write here URL. Let's type here bird1.gif. Okay. Now here, if I save this, let's have a look what is happening in my browser. You can see here that I don't know where is my image because it is not, one second. What is the name? It's bird1, right? I think I have written bird.gif. Okay, now it's correct. Let's go back. So yeah, so now you can see that bird1.gif, whatever it was, it's not coming here. Okay, it is not showing me anything here. So what I have to do? I have to write some more codes. Let's have a look what I'm going to write. So I have given here background image. Two images are there, but one image is not visible because I need to place a position to it. So how I'm going to put up a position? I'm going to write background position. Okay, and because there are two images, I'm going to tell it where the first image will be and where the next image will be. So first I'm going to write right bottom, that is for the background.jpg, and then I'm going to write left top, that is for the bird1.gif. Okay, so let's do something. Let's make it ulta. Let's bring this here, left top, that will be my background, and right bottom will be the bird1.gif. Fine. So this is what I've written. Now next, also I'll give one more property, which is background repeat, because I told you whenever you're using background, you have to use these things: background repeat, background size, background position, all of these things. So background repeat, I don't want to repeat the first image, which is the background, but I do want to repeat if it is bigger. I want to repeat this. Okay, so this is what I have given in my code. Right now I've not saved the file because I want to show you that you can see here there's no space in the h1 and in the paragraphs. So to give the space, what I'll do, I'll give a padding here. So let's say I'm giving here a padding. Let's save this. And let's have a look. If I go back, yes, I corrected it, Jtrix. So if I go back, you can see here, still you can't see the bird. Now the problem here is that my browser is in 70%, right? And that's why it is not showing me. So if I drag here, one second. Anything wrong? bird1.gif, where is my image? Something is wrong. Let's check the code again. So URL bird1.gif, bird1.gif, background.jpg, left top, right bottom, let's try something else. Let's try it here. Anything wrong, guys? Please check it out if anything is wrong here. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. See, the problem here was basically the first image which you are writing, right? That will be above. Okay, that will be above. And the second image which you are writing will be back. I did not explain you this. So yeah. The first image which you are writing will be above always. Okay. So right now what was happening? I was writing background first and then bird1. So the bird1 was above. Sorry, the bird1 was in the back. So that's why you were not being able to see the tree. Right now you can see the tree. Okay. So you can see on the bottom right, you have the tree. Okay, but why bottom right? Because I've given the position as that. You can see here, right bottom, right? So the first image, whatever you're writing, will be above, and the second image will be in the back. So yes, the background should be in the back. That's why I've written like that. Totally forgot that. Okay, so this is how I've written it. Okay, if you want to add some more images, you can add it, but make sure that you're adding it in the beginning, not in the this part, in the end. Okay, because in the end, always it should be the background image, which should be in the back side. So if you want to add some more images, you can do that. There's no problem in it. Okay, so have a look. Right now it is visible here and it's looking perfectly fine, because if any web page you want to create and you want to put up a particular model, a model face, or a model wearing your particular brand t-shirt, you want to add his image here, you can edit the image and you can place it here in your web page. So those kind of things you can do it using background image. Okay, the next what we are going to see is we are going to use some more properties, but this time, as you can see, I'm using background image, background position, background repeat. Correct. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use only background. As I said, this is a shorthand property, so I'm going to use all of these things together. Okay, so for together, what you have to do, you have to use URL. You have to say bird1.gif. Okay, this is bird1.gif. Next, I'm going to put up right bottom. That is my position. And then I'm going to put up repeat. Again, I'm going to give a comma. I'm going to give URL. I'm going to give background .jpg. Next, I'm going to again write the position. So left, top. And here I'm going to write repeat. This whole 3 lines is now written in only 1 line. So I can comment this. If I save it, nothing will change because it's gonna give me the same output. It is changing now because I've given repeat. Earlier I gave no repeat. I've given repeat now. That's why my image is getting repeated. You can change it. So you can change it to no repeat. If I save, so it's not getting repeated and it's in the right bottom. Okay, you can add some more images if you want, and that also we will see. Third image also we will try to see how it will work. Okay, now I have told you something about the background size. Background size, I have told that background size is basically a cover, right? So when you cover background size, that means your whole image will be there in that particular portion. Correct? That is background size. So now what we are going to do, we are going to do the same thing. We are going to put up 2 such divs. Okay, I'm going to name it as, let's say, sample1 and sample2. Let's comment this. And let's write a different code here. Okay, so in sample 1, I'm going to give the same things. We are going to provide the same things which I've given here, but this time we are going to include background size as well. So now, first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a border 2 pixel solid black. Next, I'm going to give here a background. So the background, I'm going to use a image. So let's say I'm using background URL bird1.gif. Okay, next what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give background repeat. I'm going to say no repeat because I don't want to repeat it, and I'm going to give a padding. So I'm not giving any position. That means by default it'll take the first position, and if I save this, if you check it out, the position for that is top left, right? So from starting top left, it is taking that. Okay, and this is what it's looking like. This is what is the first sample 1, the sample 1. Sample 2 is empty. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a background size to it. Okay, so coming back to the code, background size. Now this size, how much ever I want, I can give. So right now I'm just giving 100 pixel and 80 pixel. If I go back, save this, you can see 100 pixel and 80 pixel, right? So 100 pixel is basically your width and then the height. So you can see this is now it's coming top left position. I have not given the position. If you give position, it will go to that position. But right now, this is what is your background size which I have given. Okay. Next, what I'm going to give, I'm not going to give any background to this one, the next one. Okay. So coming back to the code, here, I'm not giving any background size for now. This is sample 2. This is how it is looking like. So first one, we have given the background size, which is 100 pixel and 80 pixel. So that's a value which you can give. You can give any kind of value. And this is second one is the normal one, the normal picture. Now background size is also having two values. One is cover and one is contain. So now we are going to try that. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up two values, one for contain and one for cover, and we'll see what is happening. The first one I'm just going to put up here it as contain, right? Now contain, basically what it does is it scales the background image to be as large as possible. Okay, how much large it can be, it will become, and then it will put it up in the web page. So let me go back. I've not saved the file. If I save it, this is what is contain. So look, have a look what is the original showing me and what is the contain showing me. So contain means how much ever you have given the border, right? The div area, that much div area it will contain. So it looks very properly placed, right? The image is properly placed. Have I given any value? We don't have to give any value. We don't have to say that it will be 100 pixel or 80 pixel or how much, because it is containing the total image, right? So it is having the total image right now here, and that is what is contained. Let's try out cover. What is happening in cover? So let me uncomment this. I hope you remember what is the normal output when you're not using any background size. Now I'm using cover and have a look what is happening. So if I go back, cover is covering the whole div area, right? Right now the height of sample 2 is bit smaller because I've not given any height. Let me give it. So I'm just giving a height. I'm not showing in the code. Just given a height 300 pixel. So this is what is background size. This is covering the whole div element. That is what is cover. Okay. Contain is only containing that portion in which it is. If I increase the height of sample 1, okay, if I increase the height of sample 1, what happens? Again, I have just increased the height of sample 1, not the image, correct? Still it is contained, so that's why the image is also getting increased. So that is the use of contain and cover. Okay, so try to remember this. Let's come back and let's try to move to another topic. Let's try to see what is that. Okay, so as I told you that we have different kind of colors, right? We have RGBA, we have HSL, we have HSLA, and we have opacity. You all have done those and you already know what are those colors. In the CSS colors topic, I have already explained about it. So if you have not seen it, go ahead and watch it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, if I've talked about colors, so also there's one more thing for colors. For colors, we have different values. It is also called as color keywords. So that we are going to see now. So in color keywords, we have basically 3 words. One is your transparent, one is current color, and one is inherit. Let me write it here. So these are color keywords. The color keywords are basically transparent, current color, and inherit. Okay. These are the 3 keywords. We are going to see how to use it, what is its work, and how does it work basically. Okay. So we'll try to see some examples and we'll try to explain you how this works. But before that, please let me know if you have any doubts till now. Give me a thumbs up if everybody's watching and everybody's understanding what is happening here. Please do let me know. I think it's already 1.5 hours. We are going to move it to 1 more hour, right? Because we have a lot of things to cover. So please give me a thumbs up. We are just taking 5 minutes break. If you have any questions, please do let me know and I'll answer it. We will write the code for color keywords. Just taking 5 minutes break. Okay. I'll be here. I'm not going to leave my chair. It's just that we are going to talk. So if you have any questions, please do let me know. Anything, any doubts, any particular topic you want me to bring it up, please do let me know. In JavaScript, any topic, or in CSS, any topic, any kind of project you want me to put it up here. Again, project whatever I'll create will be very basic one, because advanced I want you to create, because if I give you everything in your hand, then there'll be enough no use, right? You'll just copy and paste it and you'll say I've created that. So that's not gonna help you. Any questions, guys, please do let me know. Anything. We are just in a break mode. Okay. Guru Sharan, if you're watching, Madhav, Bhavna, Vivek, Somu, Sai, if you guys are there. If you have any other work, you can go ahead and do that. There's no problem in that. This video will be there, so you can watch it again. Any questions, please think about it, let me know. Otherwise, we'll move ahead in this particular thing and we'll try to do this. So let's start, right? So here we are going to do is we're going to use different color codes, and let's say I'm having a div and we are having a class. I'm giving here example 1. Let's say that I'm writing here, this container is green in color. Similarly, I'm going to create another div, give here class example2, this container is transparent. 2 divs, and colors already I've given, so I have to give that in my CSS as well. So I'm just going to give here background color, let's say green, and the next one I'm going to give here example2, going to give here background color transparent. Okay. Again, if you're only giving green and only giving transparent, we won't be able to see the difference. So what I need to give here is border. Okay. Same thing I'm going to do in the next one. Fine. Let's have a look what is happening. If I go back to my browser, you can see here, this is 100%. Let me make it maximum. So you can see here, there's a border. The first one is your color, which is your green color, and the next one is transparent. But still, what is the difference between background color transparent and then you have the white color, right? Or maybe you have not given any background color. See, if in the code, if I remove this background color transparent, still it's gonna give me the same output, right? Then what is the use of this? The use of this is very, very basic. Let's say that in the body, I am giving a background image, and the URL which I have given here is download.jpg. Cool. Now, when I save this and if I go back, one second, not download. One more image was there, right? What was the name of it? Background. I'll give you a background. Okay, now have a look. If I go back, You can see the background image is taking up the background, the pink color thing, but the transparent, if you can see, is not now white. It is basically a transparent. So behind, what is transparent? You can see what is behind. So you can see what is behind. If I don't give transparent here, right? If I don't give transparent here, what's going to happen? Still the background color will be there. If you can see here, still the background color is there, right? If you give white, it's going to be white. Correct. So this is what is your transparent. Okay. This is what how transparent works. And let's move to the next one, which is current color. So current color is basically the color which you're using right now. Okay. So let's say that I have this div, right? In this div itself, we will try to code something. So let's say I'm removing this and I'm just going to give here div. I've given a text color. So I'm giving here, let's say, blue violet. Okay. This color which I've given here. Border I'm going to give. Let's say the border which I'm giving here is 10 pixel solid. And I'm using here current color. Okay. Now what is the meaning of current color? That means whatever color you're using right now, that color itself, it should show you. Which color I'm using right now? Anywhere I'm using blue violet. So the same color is gonna show me. Doubt. We should always use external CSS if our project is big. Shivang Ramola, yes. So I'll explain you in a better way your question. Now, suppose if you have a bigger project, okay, and you have more lines of codes in your CSS, correct? You should always use external CSS. Reason being that if you put it in your internal CSS, you have to scroll down a little bit more to go into the HTML part, correct? And it will not look good. So you can go ahead and use external CSS, but there is some limitations. Now the limitations is, let's say that you have given body a color. Okay, you have given body a background color and you put it in the external CSS. Fine. But in the inline CSS, you want to change it. You want to change the background color in some of the portions. Like in one of the div, you want to change the background color. In the another paragraph, you want to change the background color. You have already given some CSS in external, but you want to give an inline CSS also to it so that it gets prioritized. So that is also one thing you have to keep in your mind. So whenever you want to prioritize some colors or some properties of CSS, then you can use inline CSS. In external, you have already given those, but you want to change the colors in some of the portions, then you will not move to external and you will edit it, right? Every time you will not edit the code. So you have to go to inline and you have to give the inline CSS there to that particular specific element, so that inline is having more priority than external. So inline color, whatever you have given, that will be getting displayed in your output. External colors will not get displayed. So majorly in developer position, when you go, this is what you have to keep in your mind. It's not only about when your code is big, you are writing external CSS. That is so true, but we have inline and internal for a reason, right? So if you have normal writing code or two properties which you want to give to one element, or just one property you want to give to one of the element, then you can use inline so that it gets prioritized. Okay, Shivang. So I hope you have understood this. So please keep this thing in your mind. And yes, for bigger projects, for bigger CSS, keep it externally. Right now, I'm just using a simple, very small codes, right? I'm just deleting it. So that's why I'm putting it in an internal. So blue violet current color, right? Let's save this. Let's move to our browser and let's have a look what is happening. If you look here, we have got the text color also as blue violet, and the border is also blue violet. Anywhere have I given that the border color should be blue violet? No, I've just given that should be the current color, and the current color is what? Blue violet. If I change that color, it's gonna change it, right? So that is what is current color. Whatever is the current color, that's what it's gonna change to. Okay. Let me show you one more example. of this. So let's say I don't want to use the okay, let me write it here. So let's say I have a body, and to this I'm using a color. I'm saying purple. Okay, I've given a purple here, and in the div, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a background color. In the background color, I'm saying current color. Okay, now understand, body has been given a color purple, right? Which is the text color. And then in the div, so div is obviously inside the body, correct? So when I'm giving that div should have the current color, that means purple, right? Okay, now have a look. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up here div, and I'm going to remove this. I've written something like this. Let's remove it. Okay, so in this P, what I want to do is I want to write here color white. Now understand what is happening. In this paragraph, I want this text color to be white, but everything else to be purple. Okay, so if I save this, if I go back to my browser, you can see here what is happening. This container is green in color. That particular thing, div element, is having a color which is purple. If you look at the code, this both are div, so don't get confused. Okay, let me give a br here so that you get to understand. Now I think you can understand. Okay, so this is another div, this is another div. Earlier it was coming together, so I thought you will get confused, so I just gave a br. Now have a look. In the first div, I have said that body text color should be purple. The body text color is purple. Can you see? The text color of this is purple. Okay, and I've given the div element background color to be current color. So background color is the current color, which is the purple color, right? Padding I've given 15 pixels, so this is the padding which is given, and also I've given div paragraph color white. So to the div which is having the paragraph, I want that paragraph to be color white, but this one is not having any paragraph, right? So only that paragraph is having a color white. Okay, this way also you can use your code. Fine. Next way, what we are going to do is we are going to use box shadow, and that we'll also see how to use that. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, let's say that I'm using here a purple color itself, right? I've used a purple color in my body, and next I'm going to use a div. To this div, I'm going to change some things here. So let's have a look. So first of all, I'm going to give here a box shadow. Box shadow, if you remember, I have already explained you this. If you do not know, then let me know if I'll explain you again. 15 pixel, I'm going to just here give current color. Okay, so these are the directions from where you want how much you want the color to be produced. This is the border. I'm going to give here 5 pixel. Let's say solid. Again, I'm going to put up here a current color. So understand, the border color is also the current color. The body color, that means the text color, is also the same color. And the box shadow, the shadow which will come out, that is also the same color, right? So I'm just using current color, and I'm going to give a padding of 15 pixel. Okay, let's have a look what is happening. So if I go back, if I save this, you can see what is happening to all the divs, right? To all the divs, there's a box shadow. There's a shadow of purple color. The border is also of purple, and the text color is also purple, correct? What if I remove the border? I'm just commenting out the border part. So there's a shadow, there's no border. Okay, the shadow is also of a purple color. Fine, cool. So this is how you can use your color keyword, which is current color. Now let's understand how we can use the inherit. There's one more left, which is inherit. So we're going to understand that. Now inherit, you must have understood that if I am a son, I have inherited some properties from my father, correct? Similarly, it goes to everybody else. Similarly, it goes here as well. So here I've written here div, I've written here paragraph, correct? And div and paragraph, basically both are block element. So let's not try this example. Div and p both are block elements, right? So let's not use that example. Here what I'm going to use it, my name is, I'm going to use here an inline element, which is span. So I'm writing here Ritwik Raj. And I hope you guys are enjoying. This is the div element of one which I have given. Again, one more we will give. So let's say, welcome to the advanced, and let's say I'm putting a span cascading style sheet sessions. This is the span, and learn some random thing I've written. Okay, so these are the things which I've given here. These are the two divs which I've given here. Now I'm going to provide some CSS to it. First of all, to the div, I'm giving here border 2 pixel solid and a red color. Understand, to the div I've given the red color, okay, not to anything else. Now what I'm going to do, span, I'm going to give here a text color, and I'm just going to give here inherit. So span is obviously a child of div, and if div, which is the parent element, is having a color red, and if I'm saying that the span, which is the child element, will have the color inherited, that means it will take the color red itself, correct? So what I'm going to do here is, let's check out what is the output. So if I go back, let's save this. So you can see here, you have here this, my name is Ritwik Raj. I hope you guys are enjoying. And this is basically your, one second, I think span is not working. Span ka color inherit. Color inherit. Okay. 1 second. Color means the text color, right? Obviously, only the text color will not get inherit because I've given the border there. Let's try border here. Okay, let's see. So you can see here the span is having a border, right? The same border, the same things which is given to my div, the same things, right? Let's say that I'm changing something here. Let's say I'm making it as 5. Okay, let's have a look what is happening to both the borders. To both the borders, it's becoming bigger, right? I am just going to give a BR here so that a space comes in. So both the borders, there is a same thing, right? So inherit will only work with the same properties. Please understand that inherit will not work with the other properties. So if I'm changing a color here, the color will also change here. But if I'm giving the border here, so I have to give the border here. Okay, this is what is inherit. Okay, so for inherit, this is how it works. Let's say that in this div, I'm going to change something in an inline. Okay, so in an inline, I'm just giving here border again. So understand, this is inline, this is internal, and inline is having more priority than internal, right? So if I'm changing a color of this, let's say if I'm saying here 2 pixel solid green, right? So inline will be much more prioritized. That means this div will have the border color green, right? But what will happen to span? Because in span I'm only given inherit. So whether it will inherit from red or whether it will inherit from green, let's check out. If I save this, if I go back, you can see both the things are green. Okay, so we are using inline. That is why inherit properties also went to the inline function, not to the internal. So it is working for inline, and that's why in inline we have green color. So both the things are having green, the span also and the div also. That is what is your color keywords. Fine. Now let's move to the next topic, which is our gradients. But before that, please do let me know if any doubt you have. Okay. Please do let me know if you have any doubt. We'll take 5 minutes break. Any doubt, guys, please do let me know if you have anything to ask. Any particular topic which you want me to bring out up, please do let me know. So we'll see gradients and then we will see two more topics and then we'll close this, okay? Any questions till now? Otherwise, we'll move to the gradients topic and we'll try to see what is gradients. Okay, cool. Let's get started. So gradients is basically the mix of colors, right? So when you want to give a different kind of color, let's say you want to move from red to yellow, green to blue, those kind of colors when you want to give, those are called as gradients, right? And this uh, we have not seen right till now because I remember we have done one topic in which we have seen gradient colors, but that was not actually gradient. It was mostly a different kind of color. I think I did not do it right. Yes. Okay. So we have three kind of color gradients, right? We have linear gradient, we have radial gradient, and we have conic gradient. Okay, so linear gradient, basically this is goes down, up, left, right, or diagonally, nothing else, right? So we'll have left, right, up, down, and it will go diagonally also. So these are the only values where it's gonna go. When you talk about radial gradient is basically from the center. So from the center, it's gonna go either zoom in or zoom out. That is what is your radial gradient. Conic is basically rotated around a center point. So conic, you know what is a cone, right? Cone basically is having one center and then it gets zoomed out, right? So it's rotated around a center point. That is what is your conic gradient. So in all these three gradients, we are going to use different colors. You can use any colors, and we are going to see how to write a code for this, how you can create a basic linear gradient. Okay, so linear gradient is basically used anywhere, right? You can use it as an image, you can use it in a background image, you can use it as a normal color, right? In a text color also, you can use it anywhere. But the way of writing, the way of syntax is a bit different. So here what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to put up just one div element. Okay, so let's say I'm just putting up here it as div, and to this div I'm going to give some height. Okay, and the next thing I'm just going to give here it as background image, and in this image I'm giving linear gradient. So in linear gradient, what values you can give any value. let's say first I'm just giving a normal random value green blue, and let's check out what is happening. So if I go back to my browser, so this is what it is looking like. Okay, I've given green blue, so understand green will first come and then the blue. So it's giving me a radiant feel. Okay, but what have I done here? What I have given here? I have just given height 200 pixel, right? Nothing else. So to this div element, I've given height 200 pixel, and that's why there's a two colors, green and blue, correct? And that's the only thing which is happening here, nothing else, correct? So this is called as the top and bottom color, right? So because this color is only happening to the top and bottom, which is by default, so which is top to bottom, that is what we have written. Okay, the next one which you are going to see is we are going to move it to uh, left to right. So for to left to right, what we have to do, left to right, what we need to do here is we need to change the direction. So here we need to mention something. What you have to do here, we have to say to right. When I'm saying this, it means it goes from left to right. That is what is the meaning of this, right? So if I go back to my browser, right now it's by default, which is top to bottom, right? It is by default, so top to bottom. Right now I've written to right, so from left to right it's gonna go. So from left to right. If I change this to right to left, have a look. Okay, I've written to left, so it's gonna be ulta. Cool. And if I write here to bottom, oh sorry, to top, it's gonna be opposite. Fine. So these are the four ways how you're moving, how you're actually moving your colors from one way to another way. Okay, but there's one more thing. So we have learned how to move it from left, right, up, down, but what is diagonally? How you're going to move it diagonally? So what you do here is just the same way how you're using background images, you have to do the same thing. So you do here bottom right. Okay, so to bottom right will move my colors to diagonally. So let's move ahead to the browser. I've not saved it, so let's save this, and this is diagonally. So to bottom right is this one. So green to blue, you can see here. If I write top left, so it's gonna go opposite diagonal. So have a look. Okay, so this is top left. Fine. These are the ways how you can use your different ways for putting up the colors in a linear gradient. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use an angle also, right? So angle is basically how you want to use your different values of maybe 180 degree or 90 degree or 35 degree, 45 degree, how you want to move your colors from here and there. So that also we'll try to see. Okay. So first of all, here what you have to give, let's say I'm giving here 0 degree. Okay, so this is what is 0 degree. Let's understand what is it. Let's do one more thing. I hope you guys will understand what I'm doing. Okay, to this, because it's an ID, I'm going to give first. Similarly, I'll just make it 100 because it's too big. So let's paste it. Let's paste it. Let's paste it. Let's paste it. Okay, done. I'm going to change these degrees now. So I'm just going to give a basic degree here. Let's say I'm going into 45. Let's say I'm moving into 90. Let's say I'm doing it as um, 120, and I'm going to give here it as 180. Okay, so let's go back to my browser. Let's have a look what is happening. So the first one is what is 0 degree. Okay, so 0 degree is basic one, and that's 0 degree is basically the x-axis. So you can see here it's 0 degree, and then we have the 45 degrees. So this is what is tilting a little bit diagonal, and this is 90. So it's straight vertical, right? The 90 degree, and then this is the 120, which is the opposite of 45. So just having a diagonal thing, and again this is your 180 degree, right? But you can see here that everything is on one side. That means from green to blue, green to blue, green to blue, green to blue, and green to blue. So if I want to do it something else, what we will do, go to code, let's give here minus 45 degree, minus 90 degree, minus 120, and minus 80. Let's have a look what is happening. So everything is gonna go ulta. The first one is not going to go into ulta because it's 0 degree. So we have only 1 0. It's not going to be minus 0 something. So that's what is minus. So it's all opposite. Okay. That is what is your angle when you want to give the angles. Fine. So by one example itself, we have understood all of them. Okay. That is what is your angle when you want to give the angles. Now what we are going to do is we are going to have multiple colored stops. So when you want to give a multiple colored stops, what you do, you have to give different colors in the same region. So let's say I don't want to give here anything. I just want to give here yellow. Okay, I'll give a comma. So I've just given yellow, green, and blue. So this is having 3 colors in a linear gradient. Let's understand what is happening in that. Okay, so where is my browser? This is my browser. I'm just going to save this and have a look what is happening here. So you have the yellow color first, and then the green, and then the blue. So this is called as colored stops, right? And there are 3 colors. You can have multiple colors. Whatever colors you want to add, you can add, and you can have multiple colors. Basically, these things are used in most of the web pages when you want to have a background color and a multiple colors, but don't mix it up. We are using bright colors. We are using yellow, green, and blue kind of colors. That's why you can see the web page is looking quite much attractive, which you will never use in your web pages. You will never use this kind of things in your web pages. But these linear gradient are used with faded colors. Okay, the colors which are not so bright, which are very faded colors, right? So with those colors, this will look good. With those colors, the effect will look good. Okay, this will give you a feel like you're having a background color which is getting faded slowly. So that's where we use linear gradient. So it's not only that I'm showing you that you can use it only in this manner. No, you can use it. If you change the colors, you will find it much more amazing and much more beautiful. So that is what is the main thing to understand here. Okay, so that's what is your multiple stops. Okay, and again what I'm going to do here is, let's say I'm giving here a background color. I've already given a background image in which I have already given some colors, but I'm just giving here one more color, which is a background color yellow. So let's have a look what is happening. Right now it's looking something like this. If I save this, you can see here nothing is happening because already I've given a background color yellow. The only thing is, behind this color there's a color which is yellow. Okay, so only that case is there, nothing else. Sometimes you will see that people are using linear gradient, but still they have the background color. So even if you don't use that, there's no problem. One more thing, let's understand. So if I go back, when you're using different colors, let's say that if I'm using here red, let's say I'm using here yellow, let's say I'm using here pink, and let's say I'm using here yellow, okay, purple, some random colors I've given. I have no idea what it's gonna give me the output. So have a look. So all the particular colors which I've given, it's gonna show you, okay? And all the colors will be in a gradient mode. So it's not like only one line is there which is in that color, no, right? Every color is there and all the colors are in a gradient mode, correct? So that is what is the most important thing. Another thing is that if suppose you want your red color to be much more bigger or purple color to be much more lower, you can do that. How you can do that? You have to just give a percentage value to it. So if you go back, you just give here, let's say 10%, right? And yellow you want to bring it more, so let's say 30%. Pink you just want to give it, let's say 60%. And purple you want to give, let's say 20%. And the next I'm not giving anything, right? So let's have a look what is happening. If I go back to the browser, save this, you can see something happened, right? So basically what is happening, the red color is in having 10%, yellow color is having 30%, pink is having much more, but it is getting it is not getting completed. It is not showing me. Why? Because the other values I have not given, and the purple is already done. So I'll do something. I'm removing some colors and have a look. Okay, so this is total 100. Okay, red 10, yellow 30, pink 60. So it's total 100. That's why it is showing me like that. Remember when I gave something like this, when I gave purple 20 and all, so these are the extra percentage which you are giving. So pink will get covered. Pink will get covered the 100%. Total thing will get covered. But if you are saving this, purple is gonna come over that. Fine. So this is the explanation for this. Any doubts, please do let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to the next part. Okay, this is what is your gradient colors, linear gradient basically. Okay, any doubts, anything, do let me know. Otherwise, let's move to the next one. So here what we are going to do is, let's remove this, we don't need this. And we are going to give transparency, which I was saying, like from one color you have to not move to the next color, but you want to fade it, right? So how you're going to fade it, let's understand. Now in a linear gradient, let's say that I'm removing these colors, and I'm just going to give here 2 left. Okay, so it's going to go 2 left, and then I'm going to give 2 RGBA 0, 255, 0. So this is basically the one color which I've given. Basically this is blue color which I've given, red, blue, green, right? Okay, and then next color I'm going to give again RGBA and 0, 255, 0, 1. Now if you know what is this 0 and 1, you must be knowing what I'm using here. This is the RGBA and this is alpha, right? So alpha means that an transparency or an opacity value is given here, correct? So if I go back to my browser, there's only 2 things which I've given here. The other 3 divs are deleted. If I save this, you can see here what is happening. It's basically the green color which is getting started, red, green, blue. So green color I've given, and while coming to the end, it's fading. You can see it's white in color now. So that is what is your opacity, the transparency. Let's say that I want to have one more color here, RGBA 0, 255, 0. Here I'm giving 0.5 in between, right? I'm giving 0.5. So let's have a look what happens. Let's come back. Let's save. So you can 1 second. Anything wrong? 2 left. RGBA 0 to 55 0.5. Yes, so you can see here there's a, in the middle there's a faded color. Okay, so this is basically moving from 0 to 1. Okay, let me increase this and let's have a look. Yeah, so now you can see this is 0.9. Okay, moving to right, so understand that as well. If I change my code, let's say if I'm changing this to 0.2, so you can see that it's more white here. So that is how your transparency is maintained, and you can change it however you want it. Okay, that is what is your opacity. Let's move directly to our radial gradient. Okay, there is one more thing which you can use here. You can use your repeating. Repeating is basically repeating the same gradient again and again, right? So let me show you what happens. Right now you won't be able to see anything because it is getting repeated. You won't be able to see the effect, but let me write a code for you so that you can see how a repeating gradient also works. Repeating gradient is basically to repeat the same gradient again and again. Okay, so suppose I have this background image. Let's not give the height. Background image, repeating linear gradient. Let's say I'm not giving these things. Red, blue, and green. To this I'll just give 10%, and to this I'm just gonna give here 20%. Okay, let's go back to my browser. Let's save this. 1 second, where is background image? Something wrong. 1 second. Oh, 1 second, I've removed the height. 200 pixel background. Let me remove this. Okay, height is 200 pixel. Background color, I'm not going to use that. Background image is already there. Let's have a look now. Okay, so you can see this is getting repeated, right? Why is it getting repeated? Because the percentages which I have given is only 30%. 20, 10, it's only 30%. The next one is totally red. So it's not getting completed as 100%, right? So it's just repeating it, and you can see that. So this is 30%, 30, 30, 30, like that. It's just going to repeat. Okay, this is what is repeating linear gradient. You can use faded colors to do it. Don't use bright colors to do it in a web page, right? So that is what is your linear gradient. How does it work? Now we are going to see radial gradient, and I think we have already seen this somewhere in our SVG, right? If not, then let me know. Radial gradient is basically very easy. You have to just change this change to radial gradient, and you will see the effect. First, I'm not going to give any percentages here. You can give percentages in the same manner how you've given in your linear gradient. This is also going to work. So here I'm just going to give a height, and I'm also going to give a width. I'll keep it as a square because radial gradient is coming from the center. If you have a square, you will be able to see the radial gradient as a circle. So let's go ahead. Let's save this and have a look. So you can see we have this square, the width 200, height 200, and because of that we have this red color, blue color, and green color. So it's coming from the center. Okay, this is how it looks like when you use radial gradient. Let's quickly move to the next one. Let's understand how. So see, this is a square, that's why it's coming from the center. If you increase the width, again it's going to come from the center, but it looks like elliptical. Okay, ellipse. So that depends on your different values which you are giving. Next, just check out what is the percentages I'll give. So let's say I'm giving something like this, right? Let's check it out in the browser. I'm gonna save this. So this is what it is. 10%, 5% is only red, 10% is blue, and then the rest of them is green, right? So this is how your percentages will also work. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts till here? We can also use a shape. So if you want to give a particular shape to it, you can give that shape. So shape means you can write here, let's say circle, because you want to present it as a circle, you can use that. So if I go back, it's gonna be a, 1 second, I've not given a comma. So it's a circle. Okay. Radial gradient will also work like that, but it is just creating a circle here. Okay. That is what is a radial gradient. I don't think you need, well, let me check if you need any extra knowledge for this. Okay, so we have different size keywords. Okay, you can use those keywords just like we have here circle, right? You can use different size keywords. You can use closest side, farthest side, closest corner, farthest corner. Those all things you can use. Just let's check out how you can do that. I'm going to bring up third thing here. In the first one, I'm just going to put up height, width, background image. In this radial gradient, I'm just going to put up here as closest side. Okay. And closest side at, now you're going to give the value. So let's say I'm giving here 60% and at 55%. So closest side should be at this area, not from the center. So I'm just removing the, from the center, it should not get the colors, but it should give the colors from this area. Okay. So red, yellow, and also I'm going to give here. Let's check this out first. So you can see it's not from the center, it's from this area, right? So this is what is your 60% and 55%. This is what is closest side. Okay. Let's try it in another example. So I'm going to use here first. And this one I'm going to use here farthest side. Okay, and you can see here what is the output. So this is the closest side and this is the farthest side. The numbers are same, the values are same. Okay, the values are 60% and 55%. The colors are also same. It's just that I've used here closest and this is the farthest. Okay, so from the center and from the div element, how much bigger it can become, it is becoming. But in closest, how much close it should become, it is becoming. So you can see the blue color is not getting out of the div element, but here it is going. That is what is the difference between closest side and farthest side. Let's come back. Let's try it out it as closest corner. Okay. So closest corner means what? To the closest corner it will go. And similarly farthest corner. Okay. So let me do something. Third, closest corner. One more we are going to put up. Fourth one. Farthest corner. Also, I'm going to add here a div element. Okay, let's save this. Let's check out what is the output. So have a look. The percentages are same. It's 60% and 55%, but we have used the closest and farthest. This is the closest. So you can see from the corner, it's the closest. right? So this is the closest corner. Look at the difference between this closest and this closest. This is the side. So from the side, it's the closed is the closest, right? From the side. So after the div element, the blue color is not crossing, correct? But have a look here. From the corner, it's not crossing, but from the sides, it is crossing, right? The blue color is getting crossed. So it is the closest corner. Farthest corner, if you can see, I can see that you can't see that. So I'll just put up a BR here. I'll add some more BR. 1 second. Okay, so you can see here, this is the farthest corner, and you can see the corner is the blue color is getting out of that, right? So this is the farthest corner. So these are the four keywords which you can use in your radial gradient also. Fine. Let's move to the conic gradient. So conic gradient is again the same thing, but here what happens, it rotated around a center point. So this was coming up from the center, but it is rotated around a center point. So it looks like a cone when you do that. Okay, so let's try it out. We'll change it in the same code. I'm just going to comment this because later on maybe we'll use this. Here I'm going to just make it as conic gradient. Height and width will be the same. I'm going to only remove this part. Okay, so red, blue and green. Let's check out what is happening. So I've used conic gradient. There'll be only one div. This is the conic gradient. So I've given the first value as red and then blue and then green. So from the center it's getting rotated. The earlier one was not rotated. It was just a circle. But here it is showing me that it is getting rotated. The colors are moving in that way, right? So that is what is conic gradient. Okay, and we'll see some more colors. So what we'll do is we'll add some more colors here. Let's say red, blue, green. We'll also add yellow and we'll also add black. So let's check out this. Going back, let's save this. So we have 5 colors here: red, blue, green, yellow and black. Okay, so these kind of things you can use it in your web page, but again do not use all of the bright colors. Use faded colors to do this. And one of the main benefit of using conic gradient is to use it for pie charts. Okay, so how you can use it as for pie charts, because pie charts mostly show me the circle and the colors will change. How much percentage is that area, how much percentage is that this area. So we can use it in that manner also. So here what we'll do is we'll use conic gradient, we'll use 5 colors, and we are going to give here border radius. So you know that whenever we'll give border radius 50%, it's gonna be a circle, right? So that's what I'm giving here. Right now it is in a square. If I give 50%, it's gonna be a circle. So you can give a pie chart kind of thing. You can use it as a pie chart, correct? I've given 5 colors here. You can try to give 4 colors and 50% to each one of them. So let me show you how to do that. So let's say that I want to create a pie chart. What I can do here is I can create different colors with different values. So here what I'm going to give: red 0 degree, blue 90 degree, green, let's say red 0 degree, 90. Okay, fine. Let's give again 180 degree, and yellow. I'm going to use only 4 colors. I'm going to remove this because in pie chart you will have only this. And now you can see 180 degree. I'm going to give here 270 degree. Let's have a look what is happening. So if I go back, here you can see what I wanted is not happening. If you see here, red 0 degree, blue is 90 degree, green is 180 and then 270. So the colors are there. and the color is also showing me what angle it is happening, but it's not very perfectly shown. It's like the red color is getting combined with blue, and the blue color is combined with green, the green color is combined with yellow. I don't want that, right? So what I can do here is I can add some more colors to it to show it when to stop. So let's say that if I'm giving here red 90 degree, that means from 0 to 90 degree it should be red color. So if I go back, so from, okay, right now I have not given all the colors, that is why it is not showing me. I have to give all the colors first of all. One second. Also one comma was missing. Let's check out now. Yeah, so you can see red color, I've said 0 to 90, so 0 to 90, and after 90 there is no red color. After 90 again it started showing me blue color, right? So if I do it for all of them, then it's gonna give me the same output which I wanted, right? So let's do this. Blue, again I'm going to give comma blue, and this time I'm going to put up here as 180 degree. Green 180 degrees, I'm going to again write here green. I'm going to put up here 270 degree. The last one we do not need to do anything because it's already in 270. Let's save this. Let's have a look what is happening. This is a perfect pie chart which you have got, right? So this is how you can show your pie chart also. Let's move to back to the code and let me show you something else. So you can use repeating for all of them, repeating radial, repeating linear, repeating conic gradient. That also you can do. So repeating conic gradient will also work the same way. You have to just use repeating here. So let's say I'm using here repeating conic gradient. I'm gonna don't want to use these all things because I don't want to use it as a pie chart. So I'll go back and I'll just write a normal code here. Okay, so in this one I'm going to put up a red color. Let's say I'm giving it up here as 10%, and I'm going to use here a green color. Let's say I'm putting up here it as a 30%. Okay, so let's have a look what is happening. Going back, saving, and you can see it is repeated. Now understand, I know it's looking like a wheel, and you have a red color and you have a green color. Understand the red color is only 10%, green color is 30%, right? So it's giving me only how much? 5, I guess 5 lines, correct? Now understand, if I give here green as 20%, have a look what is happening. Giving me more number of lines, right? So how much ever your percentage is, that much lines it will give. I've given 40%, and you can see what is the result. Okay, so it depends on how much percentage you are giving. Okay, so that is all about your gradients, conic gradients, radial gradient, and linear gradient. Okay, I just saw one message, but I think it got retracted. So how many more sessions will be there in this playlist? Let me tell you that. Just give me 1 second. I'll open the course plan. From my knowledge, I think more this is, I think, session number 57. So I think till 70, lesson number 70, okay, will be the end of this. So we have 12 more sessions, right? And yep, so it will be having more projects, it will be having mixed projects, JavaScript projects, interview questions, all of those things will be covering in those 12 sessions, 12 to 13 sessions. So yes, 70 sessions will be there, complete 70 sessions. Okay. Bootstrap, jQuery, these all I think we'll create a new playlist, or maybe we'll do it in the same playlist. I don't know yet. So we'll check that out later on. Okay. So right now, this is what we have learned, and I hope you have understood all of these. Next, what you are going to see is basically a pagination. So pagination is a very important concept. Now, why is it important? Because Many times what you guys will do is you guys want to create a e-commerce website, and in an e-commerce website you basically want that if you go to if a user wants to see more number of products, so you have to give pagination, page number 1, page number 2, page number 3, right? So how to give those paginations, that's what we are going to see here. Okay, and this is our last topic, pagination. So let's do it. So first of all, here I'm going to create a div element. I'm going to create a class, and let's say I'm going to just create a class name as page. And the next thing which I'm going to give is to giving links. So ahref, right now I don't want to give any links. I'm just giving here it as simply something like this. And here I want to give a entity. So the entity, if you know what is entity, we used to give and hash, and we used to give the arrows, right? The left and the right arrow. So here I'm just giving a one arrow which is called as L equo. Okay, fine. And the next I'm going to start giving the 1 2 3 4 kind of pages. These are the pages which I'll be giving. So hash 1. Similarly, I'm going to have 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So let's put it up. Okay, so let's change this. Okay, so we have these all things, and at last we are going to put up one more thing. So this one will go for the right hand direction. So I'm going to just change this to R. Okay, now let's have a look what is happening. So if I save this and if I go to my web page, you can see here, this is how my my output is showing me, right? But this is not looking like a pagination. Okay, this is more close, and also this is not looking perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some extra CSS to it. So I'm coming back. Let's give some extra CSS to this, and the class name is basically page. So I'm going to give page here. I'm going to give here display inline block, and you know what is inline block? Everything is gonna be an inline and gonna be becoming a block. So that's what I'm doing. Let's go back. Let's have a look. So if I save this, it's gonna becoming a block now. Okay, everything is gonna be a block. I've not given any spaces or padding or margin to it, so let's give that. Let's come back. Let's give some more CSS to it. To inside the page, we have the anchor tag. I'm going to give here a color. Let's say I'm giving a color it as black. The next one I'm going to give here float, giving here of left, so it moves to the totally left hand side. I'm going to give a padding from top and bottom. From top and bottom I'm going to give 8 pixel, and from left and right I'm going to give 16 pixel. Next I'm going to give text decoration. We'll put it as none. Okay, so let's have a look what is happening. So now it looks perfectly fine because it is now looking like a block, and padding has been given. So it now looks like a pagination. So above this pagination, you will be writing all of the content part, and when you will come back to the code in the A tag in this href, you will give the HTML page name which you want to open when you click on second, when you click on third, another web page. So all those things, links you will give here. Fine. So that's how you can create a pagination, but we'll also try to see some more styles to it. We'll see how to style it or to change its appearance. Okay. So already we have given a display animation. We have given all of these things. Let's try to do something else. So we know pseudo classes. So let's try that. So I'm going to give here active, and we are going to give a background color. So let's say I'm giving a background color as blue, and I'm going to give a text color. Let's say I'm giving it as white. For this is active, okay, nothing else. If I go ahead Save this, nothing is happening, but when you click on it, background color blue, color white. Okay, this is not working because I've only given active. I've not written anything for hover. If you remember when I told you about pseudo classes, also told you about that if active is written, you have to have hover or link also written, because it will not work if you have not given those things together. Active will not gonna show you anything. So let's come back. I hope I'm not stuck. Okay, cool. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up here something else. So page, okay, I'm going to give hover, but here I'm giving not dot active. So the pages which are not active, that's gonna have a different background color. Okay, so here the background color which I'm going to give is, let's say, blue violet. Okay, and let's save this. Let's go back. So when I'm hovering, it's basically a blue violet color, right? Active is not working here. I've given here, I think, dot. I think that's why it is not working. Let's try it out now. Okay, so if I click it, you can see the text is becoming white, right? So right now it is in active mode. That is why it is becoming white. Okay, and what I've written is a hover not, and you can see here a hover not active means the particular a tags or anchor tags which are not active, if you hover on that, it will become blue violet. Okay, that's what we have written there. So let's go back. So everything is having now hovering effect, and it is showing me a blue violet color. Let's try something else. So what I'm going to do here is, let's say in this href3, I'm going to give a class, and I'm going to give here active. I'm going to say here dot itself, so that it's a class active. This is already I've given dot active. Let's check out what is happening now. So if I save this, going back, have a look. Already in the 3, I have given the class as active, right? So it is giving me a blue color, and the color is white. When I'm hovering into any other any other numbers, it's giving me a blue violet. So this also you can do. It just tells you that you are now in the third page. This also you can apply in your e-commerce websites. When a user is in the third page, this will not move. Hovering will move. Hovering can move, but this will not change. The color of this will not change. So that also you can add it in your codes when you're doing some codes. Okay. Meanwhile, you can also add some transition effects if you want to add. So let's say that in my anchor tag, I want to add some transitions, and transition will be only happening to the background color. So let's say I'm using here background color. I'm saying dot 3 seconds. Let's check out whether it is happening or not. Yes. So have a look. When I'm hovering, there is a transition effect 0.3 seconds, right? So there is a transition which is happening. Okay. So you can use animations, you can use multiple things here and there, and that is what is your pagination. Suppose you want to add some borders, you can add some borders also. So for that, what you have to do, you have to just add border. Once you add border, put up the border things, let's say black, or you can also write gray color if you want, or you can also write the same color which you have given in the hover state. So that also you can do. Here also you can give border, let's say I'm using the same things, 1 pixel solid, and I'm going to give another color. Let's just check out what is happening. So I've given one color as black and one as red. If you look here, only in the active state the border color is red, and in all of the others it is black. So this is also one thing which you can do. Okay. Right. So let's go ahead and let's check out something else. So border is also done. You can give rounded borders, so you can give like the radius. So here if I have the border black, what you can give border because it's the black color, so you don't want every border radius to be changed. Let's say that I'm using here border radius, and let's say I'm using here 5 pixel. Okay, if I do this, what's gonna happen to all the borders? It's gonna change everything, right? To all the borders is gonna apply. So if you look here, to all the borders, my 5 pixel radius is getting changed. If you're not seeing, have a look, right? But now suppose I want that only to the top left or the bottom right I want it. So how do you give it? What you have to do, you have to just write here border top left radius, and similarly I want to give it to border bottom right. So if I save this, have a look what is happening. So you can see here only to the top left and to the bottom right it is working, right? Now it is only given to all the A tags. So in all the A tags the border is getting changed. So what we'll do is we'll remove this from here and we are going to give it to this one. And let's give the border also to this. So have a look. This is how it's looking like. So only to the corners we have given that border, right? So like this also you can do, and this is also one of the way how you can change your borders. You can split the borders also by using margin. So if you use margin, you can split the borders, and it will also look cleaner. So let me show you how you can do that. I'll just change this page, and color black, float left, padding, text decoration, transition, everything is fine here. Let's give a border here, and let's not give any border top left or something. Let's give here margin. I'm going to give this much. Let's check out what is happening. So I've just given a margin, so every A tag will be having some spaces, and it looks quite fine when you're working with the e-commerce website. Okay, so this was all about our borders and all the topics which we have seen. We have seen a lot of things today. We have seen about 5 to 6 topics: rounded corners, border images, backgrounds, colors, keywords, gradients, pagination. So these are most important topics which you should know about creating any web page, any e-commerce website, or any web page. When you're creating, you need to use these things. It will come some or the other part of the program of the web page. You have to use these all things. So this was all about this session, and I think we are already out of 230 minutes. So this was a great session. I hope you have understood a lot of things. So let's finish this session, and let me know if you have understood all of the things, and if you have no doubts, please do let me know if you have understood all of those things, right? If you have any questions also, please go ahead and ask. If no, then that's fine. We'll end this session. So please join the Telegram channel. In the Telegram channel, when you join, you will be getting updates and notifications about all the upcoming live sessions of educators, and at what time they're coming and from which topic they'll teach. All those things you'll get an update here. So please go ahead in the description, click on the Telegram channel link. You will be able to join the Telegram channel as well. Also, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is CodeBeyond, so that You can also hit the notification bell so that you get notifications in your YouTube app as well. Please like and share this video if you've already liked it. Thank you so much. If you've not liked it, please like it so that other people can also get to know about it. Also share it with your relatives, your classmates, and every other people. Okay. If you guys have understood, if you guys have seen this video, then please give me a thumbs up, or else just say that all clear, anything will work. So please do let me know. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up if you have understood all of these things. Okay, I'll meet you very soon. Keep an eye on the updates, on the notifications, and in the Telegram, keep an eye so that you do not miss out on any of the